Any ex-satanic worshippers that decided to follow Jesus? I would love to know why you decided to follow Jesus. Part 2.
When I was 17, I sold my soul to the devil. I grew up Mormon, not by choice, and eventually fell away and stopped going to church completely. At that time I couldn't really comprehend the reality of what eternity meant, and I was constantly questioning if there really was a higher power or creator of some sort, so I was open to trying anything. I remember hearing somewhere that if you looked for Satan you will be sure to find him, and I did. At 3 a.m. on a school night, he came to me that night after I had called out to him earlier in the day, and I had a conversation with him. I was so scared I could not open my eyes. I remember his voice and the ominousness of it. After this happened, many weird things began happening to me. I'd hear scratching on my doors in the middle of the night at around the same time I had talked with him that night. These scratches were followed by voices of old wretched-voiced women telling me it was time to go. The following years weird things continued happening. I was in college, severely depressed, abusing all kinds of drugs, got into psychedelics, alcoholic, sexually immoral. Everything, and on top of that I drunkenly cheated on my girlfriend of 4 years that I was planning on marrying. The worst part is that I don't even remember doing it. I dropped out of college and moved back home, where I began drinking more heavily and eventually got myself a DUI. One day I remembered a dream I had one night where I was sitting in a room with all of my friends chatting it up, and everything around me turned black and the world around me kind of just shut off like an old television set. I remember floating around in outer darkness. First I was whistling and humming, and then I was screaming, terrified of the outer darkness I was in and the sense of the infinity of it all and the distress I felt. I woke up from that dream in an intense sweat, and I did not know what to think of it. Following this dream I began to talk to my father and some other church figures about what I had done when I was 17. They told me that our souls only belong to God and that the devil cannot destroy them. This gave me great hope. From then on I began reading the King James Bible. Many of the books I started off with brought me to my knees. Isaiah, Job, Ecclesiastes, Psalms, etc. From that point forward I decided to dedicate my life to follow Jesus Christ and stay on my path to redemption. God has given me many blessings since I've turned to Him, and I can now see light that has been hidden from my eyes for so long. I am now 21 years old and I still struggle with temptations, but I know that by grace and faith I can be saved by the one and true King Jesus, who is the captain of our salvations. Brothers, I have done many things I am ashamed of, that I still sometimes question whether I can be forgiven for or not. Every day I fight to come to the cross and continually repent for the sins I've committed. I was lost, and now I am found. God is greatest. P.S. Sorry if any of this is confusing. I tried to summarize 3 to 4 years of God trying to work through my stubbornness into a tolerable and brief read. Open to any questions.
You've made it to the end. If you've liked this video and would like to see more content like this, like and subscribe. If you have a testimony you'd like to share, send it to us at resilientfaithtestimony@gmail.com.